Bourbon and Catholicism. Do they really have that much to do with each other? You'd be surprised how much there is.
Bourbon, Bluegrass, and the Bible.
Catholicism and bourbon. Are the two that related? Well, they actually are. Most of the settlers of the bourbon capital of the world, Bardstown, where I am, made bourbon, and their names are on labels of famous bourbons to these days. But the history of Bardstown to me has not always been bourbon. Yes, it's a requirement that as a citizen of Bardstown, I have a bourbon collection at home. That's why I have this. Don't you know? I think the next requirement is going to be that I have a social media channel about bourbon. So I'm just getting a running start on this thing right now. I'm kidding. Honestly, this channel started as me kind of musing about a way to share some ideas in a more productive manner. The thing I love about bourbon is the conversations I usually have with friends as I'm enjoying it. But a trend I've noticed with a lot of bourbon channels lately is it's more about look at the rare bourbon I have and how much I paid for it and how good it is, even though you'll never be able to sample it and verify what I'm telling you. Yes, I know it's ironic that I'm holding this up right now and saying this, but that's kind of true. And I'm not joking when I say this, but most of the bourbon channels have become so materialistic. This bottle is over 10 years old now. I got it back when you could still kind of maybe walk into a store and grab it if they happen to have it. They weren't holding it back and keeping it for their special customers or raffling it off. It was just kind of like they had it. It's usually close to retail. Grab it. And I knew it was starting to become rare. I grabbed a few up and I've had it ever since. I've had 3 drinks out of this. The rest have been shared with family and friends that have never had a chance at it. And I think that's what bourbon should be. I think we should share it. We should open up those bottles that we really enjoy, have a conversation around it, and enjoy ideas and company of others. So that's what I want to do here. I want to enjoy the company of others around good conversations around bourbon. So that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to become a Cask Strength Catholic. As bourbon sits in the barrel, the characteristics of the wood, the hot summers, the cool winters, they impart characteristics upon the distillate that make it either good or bad bourbon. And the same can be said for us. As we sit in the barrel that is our lives, the things that surround us impart characteristics on us, for good or for bad. And I think more often than not, we're surrounding ourselves with things that aren't really edifying to the soul. They're just kind of weighing us down. And that's what this channel is about. So I'm going to talk about scripture, patristics, working out, health and fitness, family life, things like that. Now, I'm not going to try to be too dogmatic. There's a lot of good channels out there that'll get into the nuances of all that stuff, but I am going to try to speak from a place that is informed by the church. Full disclosure, I work for the Catholic Church as an employee here in the Archdiocese of Louisville, but this channel is not endorsed by my bishop or my pastor or my priest in any capacity. This is just me as a lay Catholic speaking, so I want to be very clear on that. The other thing I want to be clear about is I do not encourage drinking to excess. If you have a problem with alcoholism, seek out an AA group and get off of alcohol. I am the type of person, I can have 1 drink every 6 months, or I can have 1 a day and I'm fine. I, on average, probably have a drink every week or 2 at most. It's usually 1 or 2 every couple of weeks. I'm not a daily drinker. I actually hate that term in the bourbon blogosphere. I think when I hear somebody say a daily drinker, I'm like, man, you're drinking too much. Because the reality is, man, I got to get up and I got to work out and I got to take care of my kids and I got to run and I got to work on my health, which is part of what I want to talk here. That's the strength part we're talking about. So I want to be clear on those things. I don't speak for the church and I'm not endorsing drinking to an excess. I just enjoy having a good conversation around bourbon. So it's going to be part of what facilitates these conversations going forward. So that being said, if you're interested in talking about things a little deeper than just what rare bourbon's coming out and where to get it, maybe check me out a little bit. And if not, maybe just keep clicking. But I hope you guys will join me back. I hope we'll have some good conversations. And I hope you'll help me as I'm aging towards perfection and my eternal reward. God bless.
Bluegrass and the Bible.